From having a deep regret for not making up with his father before he passed, to pushing his fans to swallow their pride and reconcile with their estranged parents, Dwayne Johnson revealed the most heartbreaking time of his life. From the looks of it, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has everything. Not one but two successful careers and a happy family. But did you know his personal life is riddled with problems? For someone who grew up following in the footsteps of his dad, The Rock has one hell of a complicated relationship with his old man. But after all these years, it seems like the champ regrets not making up with his father when he had time. In a recent Father's Day post, the former wrestler-turned-actor shared a heartbreaking message, telling his fans that despite having a complicated relationship with his late dad, The Rock wished to say, "I love you" to him one last time. I'm warning you though, you better grab a fresh box of Kleenex, cause we're about to go on one emotional ride. The Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson, passed away in 2020 at 75 years old, and at the time, the two were not on the best of terms. The Black Adam star has said a lot about their strained relationship over the years, mentioning that since he was an only child, he had to face the brunt of it all. But it wasn't always like this, because when he was young, The Rock's father was his hero in every way. Adorable, I know. They really had some good times together, because even now, Dwayne loves reliving those moments through his sitcom Young Rock. We'll come to that in a minute, but first, let's talk about his mom. Turns out things weren't half as complicated with her, and the actor even described her as a loving and supportive person. But there's some regret over here as well.
Mom, you're gorgeous, so good. Good to see you.
Good for me?
Are you kidding? From our bit, New Year's, Happy New Year. I remember our bit.
In an interview, Dwayne spoke up about how he didn't realize the valuable lessons his mom taught him because he was busy horsing around. Dwayne was a little preoccupied with all the trouble he kept making. In his words, "I was running around getting arrested and being an idiot." And guess what? All this made his relationship with his father even worse. Coming back to him, The Rock thinks that his old man's upbringing greatly affected how Rocky treated him. And if you think it's all getting very cats in the cradle, I'm about to dial it up even more. Dwayne's dad was kicked out of his home when he was 13, and being homeless, he had to fend for himself. When talking about this, the actor once said, "That shaped the man who raised me." His dad's actions were mostly fueled by tough love, which didn't always sit right with Dwayne. He also shared that the real defining moments in his life were when he was 10 years old, 15 years old, and 18 years old. It just so happens that during these periods, The Rock's relationship with his father was all over the place. And even though the great Rocky did help his son in every way possible to get him a successful wrestling career, the tension was mostly because his dad was hardly around, and at the end, a young Dwayne and his mom were left to fend for themselves. And when he was there, the man was super strict and had an authoritarian parenting style, which only led to more and more conflicts between the two. Over the years, the actor's been very open about their relationship, saying that he often suffered emotional and physical abuse at the hands of his father. And while it might seem like his dad was just trying to do the best he could with whatever he had, that was hardly enough for a kid, especially combined with the other problems in their life. And on top of this came the frequent traveling. Picture this. You've already got a weird relationship with your father at home, and you move 13 states by the time you're 13, giving you no old friends to confide in or safe space to escape from it. It's a wonder how Dwayne stayed sane at all. All of this puts his troublemaking phase into perspective. I mean, there was bound to be some sort of lashing out. This also explains why he never took his dad's teachings to heart, at least not until later in life. The champ's dad taught him many valuable lessons, but for a long time, The Rock couldn't care less. I guess he didn't think they were important or was still holding on to a little bit of resentment towards Rocky Sr., so he didn't give them a second thought. But after his dad passed away, Dwayne realized his mistake. And guess what? He even wished he could give his dad a big old kiss and a big old hug before he passed away.
My dad always said, too, that regardless of what you do in life and where you go, respect is going to be given when it's earned, and you have to go out and earn it every single day.
Sadly, the two never got the time to reconcile, as his father's death was very sudden. And get this, it happened even before Dwayne's series Young Rock was made, which the actor was sure his dad would have loved. I guess you could call the show Dwayne's love letter to his late dad. Just look at how The Rock explored their struggles and problems. How adorable is that? Dwayne said his father would have been so proud of how this show captured him and his brothers along with the art of wrestling, which they all dedicated their life to.
Oh, you get goosebumps listening to this crowd.
I was the hottest heel in the company.
And the cherry on top is that it's all in prime time. Yeah, that's definitely something worth bragging about. The series played a huge role in The Rock understanding his dad's situation. That and the fact he's now a father of 3 himself, that's bound to open up his eyes a little to his dad's struggles. Well, it's good to know he's getting some closure. And in a wild way, the actor said his relationship with his dad had gotten much better. Dwayne said that losing someone you love and have a complicated relationship with is very difficult, because you never know where you stand. But thankfully for him, he was able to navigate his feelings and grow closer to his father after he passed away. It's because he can really put himself in his father's shoes now, and even has an outside perspective on their problems.
He got sassy with me one time. It was about a mile and a half from home, and he wanted sympathy, and it was pouring down rain. And I said, if you want sympathy, go home to your mother and get it.
That brings us to Father's Day, which the star said is always a complicated day for him. In 2023, the actor shared a wholesome message on Father's Day, appreciating fathers all around the world and urging them to accept their flowers. Now, while it was the perfect message, The Rock followed up with another video, and this one hit closer to home. In his second video, the actor said he missed something, so he thought it'd be good to tap back in and check on the fathers, who like him didn't have the privilege to wish their own dads happy Father's Day. He shared that his bond with his father was mostly based on tough love and wasn't always the best thing in his life, but still, The Rock understood that his father did the best he could with the resources available to him. The actor even said that he wished his father was around right now, just so that he could give him the biggest hug and wish him a happy Father's Day one last time. Towards the end of the video, Dwayne had a beautiful message for his late father, saying that he loved him and was thankful for the way he was raised, acknowledging that his dad did it with the capacity he did have.
If you're going through some hard times, you got to hold on to that fundamental quality of faith and hard work, because on the other side of those hard times is something better, is a better life.
And of course, Dwayne didn't sidestep on the complications. In fact, he talked about them head on, saying that even though things weren't always good between them, and they fought a lot, it was still awesome to have Rocky as his father. In his caption for this emotional video, The Rock said that Father's Day had become tricky for him because he was in a lot of pain. He also revealed that just a month before his dad's sudden passing, they'd got into a huge fight and weren't even on talking terms. This wound up being one of his major regrets. And the former wrestling champ didn't want any of his fans to go through something similar. He spoke to all the fathers out there, encouraging them to make the first move if they had a complicated relationship with their dads. He said they should consider it a blessing if their old man was around, because that's like having a second chance to fix things and leave all the drama behind you. In Dwayne's experience, the only other option is regret, which the actor's been feeling for the past 3 years. So from encouraging his fans to let go of pride and reconcile if they had an estranged parent, to having a deep regret for not making up with his dad before he passed away.
I wish I had one more shot, just to say goodbye, say I love you, say thank you.
Deep regret for not making up with his dad before he passed away. That's all for Dwayne Johnson's most heartbreaking time of his life.